to expose you to coding and problem solving in that way. So good stuff. Gives, like I said, gives you a little bit of an exposure. There's a bunch of these. Some of them obviously targeting specific groups. So yeah, it's good stuff. Love some of the activities. If you don't have access to computer science courses where you're going to school, or you've done something crazy like found interests or activities that end up eating up your schedule, like athletics or fine arts, and you still want to be able to give yourself some exposure, you can take the, for example, the AP Computer Science Principles. You can take the Computer Science Principles course and even sign up to take the AP exam as independent study. So just in your spare time, teach yourself how to do what you need to. But yeah, love their site. Love all that code.org has done for the computer science community. And as I scroll down here, pull up their partners page to give you an idea of their connections. Lots and lots of stuff. Got some regional partners, including Avid. A lot of universities and school districts. So yep. Lots and lots of partners. So if you're not in the continental United States, these are potentially some groups that you're more familiar with. Yeah. So as far as curriculum and tutorial partners, lots and lots of groups trying to come together to let people know how fun it can actually be to add some programming abilities into everything else you're already doing. So those are fun, by the way. Sphero robots. Lots and lots. I'm enjoying this because I get to look at logos. So another good group, Women Who Code, good stuff. Not that I saw any groups that I'm not excited to see on that list. Okay. But if those things that came up initially, some of the cheesier activities don't really appeal to you, there are a lot of different technologies you can work with, topics, type of activity, languages even, blocks or typing, other, how much time they'll take. Shoot, if you want to approach it like a game, Lightbot. It's part puzzle game, part accidentally learning how to work through some algorithms to solve your problems. It's good stuff. Kind of some computational thinking upside your head. Okay. That's fun too. Being able to create your own apps that you can share. That's another thing, as I leave that out. Say along the top here, you can break it down into your level, even a little more comfortable with things. Upper level. But code.org also has, so I have to go back into some of their stuff. Let's go projects. Okay. Code.org has what they call App Lab. So you can do some game stuff, some other things like what they were showing with some of the activities that they have pre-built for you. Or you can actually use App Lab here. I'll go ahead, of course it's signing me in. You can use this to design your own apps. It's not specific to an operating system. It's something it's web based, but you can build out your app and even share it with people so that they can try the stuff that you've made. But there's so many different things that you can do with this. Practicing building your own mobile apps. So split into your coding, which you've got your UI, you've got your control structures, functions, and just drag that in. If you noticed, I dragged it in, it changed it into text. You can leave it as blocks, or as you become more comfortable with it, you can just change this over and type all of your code right in there. It's a really, really amazing tool that they've come up with. Hit run to test your projects. At the bottom here, you can adjust how fast things are going so that you can slow things down to go step by step to debug things. It also, in the console, you can actually send yourself some messages. Send yourself some messages to let you know that stuff is working. And run that, and there it is. Which is really, really tiny on your screen. But anyway, told it to send to the console howdy, and that's what we got. Clear that. I can drop that back down. Okay. Anyway, that right there is almost nothing compared to what you can do, because other than the code, there is a design tab here that allows you to add multiple screens. So you can have a button on a screen that will take you to another screen. Maybe it has menus to do something, shows images, or I've used so many of these I have to double check I'm not saying too much, but you can build out something that looks like most of the apps that you're using. It's pretty awesome. Say drag in image, adjust the sizes of it, its location, actually choose what image you're using. Here, grab an icon just for an example. There we go, thumbs up. So, can add a border, any of that or not. Have it hidden so that something happens, you can have it pop up on your screen. It's pretty much anything that you want to do for trying out, building out mobile application. You got that. With the full App Lab version here that they've got, you can set it up to work with data even. So saving high scores, survey results, you can have that all. You can work with the database. So really handy stuff. A little bit more advanced level stuff than you're probably going to want to start with, but as far as having somewhere to go to be able to get to that level, it's awesome that this tool is here. So I think I'm done raving about that one for now, but it's good stuff. Good things. Hey, there we go. I didn't realize today we're thanking say Google is thanking teachers and child care workers. So that's nice to see on there. What are the other things that? Okay, so it's kind of hard to not share this one. Say, for those around you that are a little bit younger, or maybe they're just needing a creative outlet. The Scratch, it's scratch.mit.edu, or just search Scratch. You're able to create with this block editing program. I'll zoom out a little bit. I was able to, I've got, oh, that's frog, that's a fly. Anyway, I've got a fly, and I've got a dragonfly. So what I did, I have the fly moving to wherever I have the mouse pointer. The dragonfly I have coded that when it starts up, it's going to point towards the mouse pointer, but it's going to glide to a random position on the screen. So and I was doing this portion for an example. That part is all it really needed. These if statements in here that I have, all it's doing is it's checking to see its X position and its Y position for both of these. If they're in certain ranges, it will let me know that it's in the top right or the bottom left. That'll have the sprite say that. So, and then at the bottom here, okay, close off. I don't even know what that was. I don't know. Let's try it. Okay. Make full screen. There we go. So, this fly that I have on the end here, that dragonfly will always look toward that fly. And know if it touches, it's not going to do anything. It'll just kind of freak out that it's doing that. But, so, dragonfly fluttering its little wings, flapping those. And then it's getting a random location to go to, and then it's smoothly moving from where it is to that location in 1 second. So that's why it looks a little more natural, because of the dynamic movement. It's whatever random location it's going to. If it's really near or really far, it's still going to get there in a second. So, so it looks like it's moving. Say it's moving faster and slower depending on how far it has to go. And like I said, it's always going to be looking at the fly that's on the mouse pointer here. One thing I left out that was kind of fun with it, and I'll just leave that going along with here. But with your sprites, you can create animation by having multiple versions of your sprite. With this, I just have 2 little versions. Makes the little wings look like they're moving, like they're fluttering, flapping really fast. Which I have that in the code here. That next costume. So after it points towards the mouse, it changes costume. So it's constantly pointing towards the mouse pointer and then changing costume, and then pointing and changing costume, and pointing and changing costume. So if I wanted to slow that down, I'd probably want to pull that out separate from the pointing towards the mouse pointer, or else it wouldn't smoothly follow the mouse pointer there. The moose pointer. Okay. He's making me anxious now. I'm gonna pull up some of my other little toys here. Okay, I did create a bit of a rip-off Starship Adventure game. And put together a bunch of graphics, a bunch of ships. If you're looking close, you're like, those aren't Star Wars. You're correct. I have it set up so that so I've got that version, and then it's set up so that as I get going, I can also decide that maybe I would prefer to play a Star Trek game, which becomes really interesting because I can change it back, and the ships don't change until they're destroyed. So, really messed up combination there. Say one more, and then I think I'm done with that one. I'm gonna show off the
Make it so. Resistance is futile.
There we go. So, even customized game over screens for either one of those. So that was the first big project that I played with that, building out. All sorts of silliness. Okay. Screen. So when they went to the online version, which is really awesome, being able to build all this stuff out online as opposed to the application that you had to install on your machine previously. This one, I didn't get the latest version from the machine I was working on before it got re-imaged at school. So originally the idea was it's kind of reverse Frogger. You're going from the bottom to the top. with your little squirrel in a wheelchair. He randomly gets a hat when he starts at the bottom, and then when you get to the top, it stores the hat in the side. If you got hit by the objects that are no longer there because they didn't make it with my the version that I managed to save. Anyway, if the squirrel gets hit by any of those objects going back and forth, you can get one of these red X's showing up under the squirrel head. Okay, so probably the big claim to fame that this one had, and I'll warn you if you have some photo seizure warning, basically. I say wave my hands, don't watch for the next couple of seconds if you have issues with that. If you don't, enjoy this, because this is the one part that did save. I spent a couple minutes too long putting together the intro for 2D Super Squirrel: The Quest for Hats. Okay, ready to begin? No, we're not. Different hat? Sure. Okay, good hat. Now are we ready? No. Different hat though? No. Give some instructions. Alrighty, so let's begin. And I was wrong, it's the other way. It's not bottom of the top, it's top to bottom. But work pass. But yeah, just basically it's Frogger and Ogres. And sadly that's where the version that I ended up with last time. I haven't had the heart to go through and rebuild it because it was so much work to get all of the rest of it how I had it. It's sad. But got a fedora, cowboy hat, miner's cap, party hat, army helmet there. Good stuff. And that signal is to let me know that I have used my allotted time. So, hopefully nobody needed anything. If you do, again, the best ways to get a hold of me are on Remind or send me an email, and I can answer your classroom questions. Any other questions that you have, even, totally fine with that. Thank you for joining me with my Friday office hours. I will be back on Monday. As far as the time, that might be changing. I have to make some adjustments for our last 6 weeks since we were notified today that this state is going to be out of the school buildings for the rest of this school year. So, good times. Anyway, everybody take it easy. Have a good one.